say all these nice things. And it's indeed a pleasure to be amongst all of you. So whenever you want me, I'll start my presentation. And please let me know if I'm audible and if you can, if there is any internet lag or such things, please let me know.
Sure, Niranjana, you can proceed.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. And first of all, I really would like to thank all of you, specifically Dr. Manjula ma'am, for giving me this opportunity. It is indeed a pleasure to meet all of you, and nothing gives me more happiness than to share what I know, what I've learned with everyone. And I think that is what makes us human beings. mm, the sharing capacity is what makes us unique. And in this regard, I really admire all of you to be present, even though it is a virtual conference, a virtual meet. I really admire all of you spending time to learn about this. With that said, I will now share my presentation. I would like to start my presentation. I couldn't specifically play a particular video that I really wanted to you to hear. The wordings are so amazing. This is by Rabindranath Tagore, where the mind is without fear and the head is held high, where the knowledge is free, where the world has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls, where the words come out from the depth of truth, where tireless striving stretches its arms towards perfection, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way into the dreary desert sand of dead habit, where the mind is led forward by thee into ever widening thought and action, into that haven of freedom. My Father, let my country awake, let my country awake, let my country awake. In this entire poem, Rabindranath Tagore's first very word, first very sentence is what matters the most. Where the mind is without fear and the head is held high. No matter what, when we are taken down by fear, we don't perform well. The fear can be in any form. The fear can be that because of power. Somebody who thinks we are lower than them because of our gender, because of our caste, because of our creed, whatever background, they may treat us low, and then we don't perform well. In a college or university, your mind should be with no fear. You are all here to learn to make India a great country. If your mind is clouded with fear, we have lost the very resource, that is the students who built this nation from the scratch. The great minds of this nation is built upon students like you. Swami Vivekananda once said, just give me a couple of people, youngsters, with no fear. I will show you how to build a great nation. Did he not? The entire nation is depending on you students. And we want to create a situation for you where you learn, spread out your wings without fear. Your fear has no place here. With that said, this particular presentation is all about one aspect of our living. Rather, you can think this seminar as to give how to set your boundaries such that you are protected, you know what is happening to you, and how you can lead your life with no fear. Your job today as students is to learn and to make sure our country prospers based on your intellectual. There is a concept called diversity inclusion that is happening all around the world, where women has to be considered equal along with men. There is no discrimination whatsoever because of where you come from, my background, my caste, my upbringing should not matter in what I do, what I bring onto the table. I wanted to go about the second slide where the background of this act, Vishaka Guidelines, is about sexual harassment at workplaces, educational institutes, wherever we go. As all of you know, there was a movement called Me Too movement that you must have all heard how people were taken advantages either because of power situation with others or just out of pleasure, people were taken for granted. There is one particular woman we all must thank, Miss Banwari Devi. She's a very ordinary woman who was working for the Rajasthan government, who was making sure the Rajasthan government said, go spread the government programs to the village people, and she was doing it. Social worker she was, and she was trying to stop this child wedding. A child who was just 9 years old was getting married, and she just wanted to stop that wedding. And the entire clan of that child's family came to her when she was working on the field. Remember, she was working for the Rajasthan government and sexually assaulted her, raped her in front of her husband. If it was you and me, we would have just sat quietly and probably we would have created some social, viral things. She didn't want that to happen to anybody. She went with other women's help. She went to the court and she fought the case. And in 1997, the Supreme Court of India formulated Vishaka Guidelines, which protected female workers from getting harassed during work hours, during the work hours and any organization. But it took us, believe me or not, till 2013, 1997 to 2013. That is when Supreme Court came out with a ruling saying sexual harassment is not a physical violence, need not be physical violence, need not be physical violence. It can be anything that makes us, women, uncomfortable, period. It need not be physical touch. It can be any form of violence if it causes harm to us. If our stability is lost, that means we are assaulted. Please read this. She is a very ordinary woman and she did not want this to happen to anyone. Never can be taken granted. Who are all covered in this POSH Act? Remember, this is sexual harassment of women at workplace. It is about prevention, it is about prohibition, and if it happens, how do we address it is what is POSH Act. And believe me, it only happened in 2013. Mighty India is being ruled by British. Then we went through our own problem, but we couldn't save our women. Now, this isn't to say that this act is trying to protect women, but it does not mean this harassment could happen to any gender. So this lecture or this webinar should be only looked at gender neutral perspective. Gender neutral perspective. So it doesn't matter whether you're a man, woman, trans, nothing. If you experienced unwelcomed act in your tenure at your university or your college or your class, you must raise this up with internal compliance committee. We will talk a little more on that. But who are all covered? Full-time employees, temporary workers, contract workers, daily wage employees, trainees, interns, students, contractual workers, housekeeping, security, everybody who comes to your university, where the university is extended, let's say you go for a picnic or educational tour, everywhere you're completely protected by this act. This must be clear. Students, you may go for internship to other companies. You are very well protected. It is mandatory that every company should have an internal compliance committee, and that if anything happens to you, unwanted situations happen to you, you must take this up. When you are going as an intern to that company or any organization, even a non-profit organization, you must give this complaint to the internal compliance committee. If there is none, please immediately bring this to your university's internal compliance committee, and we will go about the details little later, but it is very mandatory. You're going to say stop and say no to unwelcomed acts, no to putting yourself through pain and mental trauma. You're going to say no because I want to do well. I want to be good. I want to be part of the society. I should be the person who is part of India's growth. So you are going to make sure everything that it is your disposal to protect you, to protect your fellow students. Even if the incident does not happen to you, but it happens to your friend, and she or he is a little shy, you are going to, there is a term called whistleblower. You must bring this up to the internal compliance committee. Let us talk about it. What is sexual harassment? A physical contact and advances, a demand or request for sexual favors. I can quote an example. Let us say my senior comes to me and says, okay, I will help you finish this assignment. Can you come out with me for dinner? That is demand or request for sexual favors. Now, if it is consensual, guys, that is different question. You really would want, it's a welcome act from your perspective. There is nothing we can do about it. But if you feel unwelcome at any point in time, if you feel not good about that act, you can raise this up, okay? If anybody makes any kind of remarks, either how my appearance, what kind of dress I wear, how I am showing off, anything that makes you uncomfortable. I grew up in the, I'm very old, but when I grew up, there would be all these boys standing up and they call it catcalling. They will be making fun of the girls. It's just fun. They didn't know how much it was affecting other students who were just going to the school as a school student or college, or when you're standing in the bus stop, people make fun of you. All those things, it is about changing our behavior. Let us not harm anybody. Let us not put them in distress. That is all this act is about. Making sexually colored remarks, showing unwanted pictures, or unwelcome physical, verbal, non-verbal contact of sexual nature. The act also states that this is from the act. It is dictated by the government of India. A promise of preferential treatment in employment. What is promise of preferential treatment in employment in your context? Let us say you go to your professor or a lecturer, and then you find that you're always not given enough credit for the work that you do. I mean, rightfully so. If you really have done it, let us be very, very cautious. If you feel it is preferential treatment to somebody else because there was a favor happening, that is not a welcome act. But if it is merit, okay, merit based, then ICC does not cover that. Let's be very clear. Just because you're unhappy with your lectures and professors, this act cannot help you. But you must have merit. You must have to make sure that such preferential treatment does happen. And then only you can bring this up to ICC. And by the way, everything is very confidential. There is no, the ICC committee that is formed in your college is only for your protection. Okay, so your confidentiality, your privacy is very much within ICC committee. It will not. If they violate, then they get into a problem. So ICC committee's only motive is to make sure the students are safe in and around the campus as long as they are with the university. Threat of detrimental treatment in employment, threat about present or future employment. If anybody comes and tells you, if you don't do this to me, I will make sure you don't attend the interview. I will make sure these things don't happen to you. I will make sure I don't give you marks. All those things are not acceptable. Creating an intimidating or offensive or hostile work environment where I, as a student, I just don't want to come to the university anymore. If I go, all these problems come. To me, that is not what we want to accomplish. We want all these free mind to come to the universities and learn. Humiliating treatment potentially endangering health or safety. You do not understand the amount of mental trauma each one of these people goes through. They think there is something wrong with them. There is something absolutely wrong with them. They are doing something that is what is making other people comment on them. This is not how it is. You be very clear about it. It is not you. It is about all of us learning, relearning our behavior such that we make sure each one of us is respected and treated equally well. It is about creating the habit where I learn to respect each one of you. You learn to respect me and my boundaries. This is all this POSH Act is trying to achieve. So let us be very clear about it. If anything that makes you uncomfortable and you do not welcome any act and you are taken for granted, then, and you have proof for all of it, either written or voice recording, whatever it may be, you can take it to the internal compliance committee and they will make sure it is kept confidential and that your privacy is respected. The thing comes, how now that we are all at home, it's a virtual space, I don't even see any one of you now. How can that be? Now, the sexual harassment can be in any form. You're all part of the WhatsApp group, Telegrams, Instagrams, all kind of social media. For example, I am talking to you now. If somebody takes a picture of me, a screenshot, right, when I turn, when my body parts are shown, and then they circulate it in the internet or amongst your friends, that is a form of harassment. Or they take a screenshot of your conversation with each other without your consent and sending it to others, making fun of you. That is a harassment. Okay, so be very, very, how can this happen? We all think it is a virtual environment, nothing will happen. No, things are happening. In US, if you see, people trash each other, college students, school students, they write summary about the other person's looks, how they talk, their habits, everything. So the other person feels bullied and don't want to come to universities. They don't want to go to school. Please be very, very cautious, even in your online activities, unless otherwise it is a welcome act. You're okay with it. You feel okay. See, my friends make fun of me. I am okay with it. That is not a harassment. At any point in time, if you feel not okay and you say, stop, I am not wanting any one of this. I don't like your comment. If you repeatedly say that and the other person keeps harassing you, you must take it to the internal compliance committee. Even if it is a boys group, let us say the boys forward some unwanted pictures to each other, even if another boy feels, I don't like all these things. Remember, you are students in the university. You are still protected by the ICC committee. If you feel, if there is a group that you have created, for example, for your projects, and somebody sends something, you don't like it, I don't like this picture that you have forwarded, I don't like the joke that you have forwarded, and if that happens repeatedly, you must take it to the ICC. See, it's not about threatening. ICC is not like threatening here. The POSH Act is not about threatening. What we are trying to achieve is some acts are not okay. Some acts are not welcome. When we grow up, we didn't know. We just grow up looking at cinemas where the hero makes all kind of comments. He goes behind this heroine and makes sure, she comes behind him. But if the heroine says no, the hero should say, Okay, I respect your boundary and walk away. That is how it should be. If it is consensual, we can't do anything. It is a welcome act from your perspective. Now, workplace sexual harassment is unwelcome, sexual in nature, and it is a subjective experience. This is why I am talking in great detail. It is the impact that it has on me. It is not your intent. You may intend not to hurt me, but the impact that it has on me. For example, you have just forwarded a very casual joke which has very, sex related material in it. I may say it has a severe impact on me. And please refrain from doing all those things. Refrain from sending unwanted, unwelcome comments. Please let us relearn our behavior. Let us relearn to create safe workplace or institution for all of us. It can happen to anyone. It can happen to anyone, and there is nothing wrong about you who get affected. There is nothing. This is number one point that I want to put it across. Please do not go into this thinking of, I am always like this. I always invite problem. I am the problem. Maybe I am this. I am that. No, you are as important as that of the sun, moon, stars, rivers, and mountains. That is why you are here. You are here because you are going to build this entire nation with all of us. If anything happens to you, we have failed as nation. So please come forward and be very clear in setting your boundaries. What you want, what you don't want. You must be very clear. There should be no gray area. You cannot say, it's okay if he makes those remarks, what to do, I can live with it. No. You must be very stubborn, very clear, very strong in your mind. Diversity starts with us, each one of us. We should respect each other for who they are, regardless of how they look, how they talk, how much money they earn, nothing. The respect should come from within. It should start from our houses. We should respect our mother and father equally well. Please change this. Any conduct or behavior. So what is meant by unwelcome? Any conduct or behavior is unwelcome if the recipient does not consent to it. This is what is very important. And the recipient regards it as offensive. Even if the victim does not complain, it does not necessarily imply the conduct is welcome. As I said, if I don't complain, if I feel unwelcome, please stop that. Some comments and or advances are blatant and crude and are inherently offensive. These will almost always be deemed as unwelcome. Let us go a little more on our behavior perspective. When somebody says something, if I feel bad and if it is one-sided and I feel powerless, and it is because the other person has a lot of power, it's unwanted, illegal, invading, demeaning, causes anger or sadness in me. It causes negative self-esteem. These are all unwelcome behavior. If your behavior makes me feel good and I can reciprocate and I am in control at all times and I feel I am treated equally well and I am wanted in that situation, I can participate in the situation and it is legal and it is an open situation and I've been appreciated and I'm happy and it brings me a lot of positive self-esteem. That is something we welcome. Let us go over what is a workplace. In your case, it is an educational institution where you work. Under the Act, the workplace has been defined as which means to establishments, enterprises, institutions, offices, branches, premise, location, units established, owned, controlled by the company or the institution, anywhere. Now, the workplace is extended even if it is a team outing, educational visits, cyberspace, cafeteria, cabs, college bus. Everything is extended. Now you're sitting at home, let's say, watching this. That at the moment is an extended workplace. Okay? So very careful as long as you are within that university. See, if it happens in a bus stop by somebody else, ICC committee cannot do. But whoever is making you feel unwelcome is employed by the university. Employed as in, I said here, anybody, one of them in your university, even if it is a cafeteria boy, you are covered. So make sure of that, okay? When you, let us say, go for internships, you are with another person from your college. If it happens outside your college, even then, POSH Act covers you very much so. If you are employed as an intern in an organization, you are covered. If it is a WhatsApp group that is being created because of a college purpose or a project purpose, whatever, you are covered. Anything and everything that involves other students or lecturers or professors or anybody, right? It is called a workplace where you share your ideas, when you're able to connect for a purpose. That is a workplace. Sometimes this happens all that there is. When I say, okay, an unwanted thing happens, and I tell the other person, I didn't like it. Now the other person wants to take revenge. By the way, the POSH Act says it covers women specifically, but it does not say who the other person who makes you feel unwelcome, who questions your self-esteem. It can be anybody. It can be a man or a woman or a trans. It doesn't matter. It can be anybody. It can be that another woman can make you feel uncomfortable. They can pass on remarks saying, oh, it can be your physical appearance. It can be how you talk. It can be how useless you are. It could be anything. It is about not the gender of the other person. It is about the impact it has on you. So it is not necessarily always a man. It can be anybody. And it is true for boys also. I may feel as a boy, I may experience unwelcome acts, unwelcome comments. It can be, the other person can be a woman or a man or anybody. Sometimes this happens quid pro quo, where I say no to something and the person wants to take revenge on me. The person will gang up with a couple of other people and will try to make my life horrible. Please, you are covered. Hostile environment, where I will feel left out. Nobody wants to talk to me. They're all making comments behind my back. I don't know. I can't even study anymore. If you ever encounter these kind of things, please, with your proof, if it is a repeated behavior, you can go to your ICC and talk to them and figure out whether it is or not. Let us take some examples. Suman sends a couple of pictures of something to Joe. Joe requests Suman not to send him such obscene pictures in the future, and he was not comfortable with the same. But Suman continued. Is this an example of hostile environment sexual harassment? Anybody? Yes or no? Hello?
Yeah, students, please, you can unmute yourself and speak.
Ma'am, it is.
It is. Even though it is between two boys, Suman felt very uncomfortable, and it is a repeated behavior. You must go and talk to the ICC. Abhi was entering the elevator and Ashutosh came up and behind and said, oh, you look sexy in this dress. But what Abhi does is, I do not like your behavior. I do not like you to touch mine. Ashutosh apologized. It never happened. See, this kind of becomes a gray area. If Abhi is um, really, really affected, she can go to ICC, or she can make a decision whether Ashutosh repeated his behavior or not. If Ashutosh genuinely made that mistake, he didn't realize what he was doing, then it is a gray area. Now, this becomes a gray area, really. It is up to Abhi, really. The power is within Abhi. I want to bring this particular example that is happening now. This is a very famous case, Saurav. So there is this guy who's employed by the government of, I think, West Bengal. Is a chartered account guy, and his superior is a female, and he just doesn't like it. She's senior to him. She's very, very intelligent, and she's able to tackle all the problems, etc., etc. He just couldn't take it. So when they went for a company, it was a meet of accountants. And they were going to the hotel room, and this person went behind her, and when she was entering her room, this person went behind her and said, "I want you. Now, you're all this intelligent, blah, 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 but I want you." Because he wants to show his power. And this lady pushed him out, whatever it is. And then she called the other co-workers, and the other co-workers came running, and this person Saurabh kept pleading, "I'm sorry, I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what it came on me." But the trauma that person went through, this lady officer, she filed a case, and she had proof for people to coming, and this person, everybody, she had eyewitness, everything. Even though it happened only one time, it made her feel so helpless, so powerless. Now, she filed a complaint against the government for not providing her a safe situation. So this is a gray area. It is completely up to Abhi in this example. That is why, guys, it is the impact, not the intent. Even if Abhi feels, okay, I will forgive Ashutosh and try to see, and if Ashutosh does not repeat the same behavior, she can just leave it, or she can say, "Man, I just didn't expect, when I was just in the lift, this guy came. I just couldn't do anything." It is up to Abhi. Okay? So please remember, you do not know the impact of your behavior on the other person. So always be very, very careful. Always be very careful of what the screenshot that you are taking, what the comments that you are forwarding, whose picture you are commenting on, what kind of language that you use. If it is very, very close friends, remember this. A best friend today would be the best enemy tomorrow. Okay? At any time, you be very careful. You will have to establish in great length when that incident happened. It was consensual. She was okay. I was okay. She was also liking me. I was also liking her. You have to establish all these proof. Even the person became your enemy after that. So always be very careful. It is not to discourage friendship. I am saying I encourage friendship with boundaries. I encourage friendship where there is respect in both directions. I encourage friendship where I feel my self-esteem is not questioned. I encourage friendship where my character is not questioned. I encourage friendship where I am respected. All right? I will quickly talk about the internal committee. Normally it is, we say about 4 people minimum, and in your university, it's a beautiful organization. I see a lot of effort has gone in. There is a presiding officer, 2 members, and 1 member. All of them have one email ID, okay? Your university must have established a committee with one email ID where you can raise your complaint. Now, and that is kept confidential, and this is the process that has to happen. Remember that timelines are very important, guys. Okay, if an incident happens, it doesn't matter boy or a girl or whatever it is. If you feel unwelcome, you must report that incident within 3 months. And the respondent, that is the person who did the act, must be notified within 7 days. And that person has to give you response within 10 days. If the respondent agree, respondent here is the person who did the act, okay? Whether they go for a settlement or punishment, an action must be taken in 60 days. If the respondent does not agree, then the inquiry happens. God forbid, I don't want any one of you to go through this inquiry process or the settlement process or anything. I just pray that nothing like this happens. We all learn to respect each other and we know our boundaries, okay? Because I sat on an inquiry for about 2 months. It is so draining, even to the respondent, even to the person who complained. You have to go in great details to prove that you are not at fault. I can take a good example. In my office, this happened that a person just delivered a new baby and she joined the workforce, and the manager, uh, or not the current workplace, some other place, the manager was in a very bad mood for whatever reason. And she went and submitted her project work, and the manager said, "What kind of project work you have done?" He threw the paper on her face and said, "You guys should just sit at home and take care of the children. Why do you all come to work and eat my head?" It's so humiliating to that person, the female worker. She filed a complaint against the boss in ICC. Even though the manager was nice, he's a good man, but that incident where he lost control, he has to go through this ordeal of going through all these inquiry and making sure that he didn't mean it, he made it, whatever, and then whatever the rest of the process. Okay, there is always this question in our mind: somebody is less than us. Oh, she's just a girl. What can she do? Or, oh, these people are supposed to just give birth to babies and just raise them. That is what their thing is. Look at our mother, how we describe our mothers. She's just a homemaker. What is just a homemaker? Isn't she the one who just puts all these team effort and making sure we are all raised properly? Isn't our food, is she getting paid for it? No, the respect should start from within. We should respect our mothers, our sisters, whoever it is. Then automatically it will be projected to the outward society. It is with girls also. Oh, I have studied so much. Now I have a university degree. I am working. I will look upon those who made a choice to be at home, to raise children. We look down on them. No, I don't want us to look down or look up. Let us learn to treat each other equally well. This is the consequences, okay? It is about the university. It can be your suspension. It can be anything that the ICC committee does. And let us say, even if you leave the university and go to another university, this will continue to that university, okay? This ICC committee in your university will hand over the case papers to the other ICC committee in the other university. This will be a lifelong daunting task for you to prove or disprove, okay? So you don't want to go through any one of these. It could be a written disciplinary warning or demotion, suspension, termination. These are all the consequences. I mean, in this flow chart, what is the action that is there? it's about all these things. Now that we defined, we kind of understand. Again, can one person tell me, or any one of you, what is harassment, sexual harassment to you? Yes, unwelcome act. It is not the intent, but it is the impact that it has. It need not be a physical touch. Okay, these three things should go in your mind. It is about how you are made to feel. If somebody says, I am the professor in this department, I am the HOD of this department, you must do this favor to me because I will make sure that things will not work for you. That is no, no, no. Or another senior comes to you and says, you must help me to write my assignments. If you don't do this, I will make sure your life is horrible. No, no, no. A junior comes to you and says, you are the perfect angel for me. Come out with me for dinner. And he makes your life hell. It's a no, no, no. Your project mate from another college comes to you and she tells you, oh my God, I can't live without you. You're the dream of my life. And she just keeps calling you at night, all those things. You are covered. You can go to the ICC committee of that college also. All right. So it's about the impact it happens. But what is not, that must be very clear. Following up on a work absence. If your professor calls you, I haven't seen you online. You have not been attending my classes. It is a very important assignment I have given you. Why are you not attending my classes? That is not a harassment. It is out of consideration and making sure that why are you not coming to classes is not a harassment. Okay. Following up on work absences is not a harassment. If you keep on getting D in your assignments, your professors and lecturers and HOD has all the right to ask you, why have you not been performing? Is there any help we can do to make you feel better or make you do your job? That is not a harassment. If they give you, let's say, not good marks, or they don't take your paper because it's a late submission, or you just missed the target, whatever, that is a punishment. That is work related. That is not a harassment. And if it is work related stress, for example, you are having back-to-back exams, that is not a harassment. Okay. By accident, if my classmate just brushed against me when he or she walked past, that is not a harassment. And if somebody gives you a constructive feedback about work, you could have done this paper well, or you could have done this project differently, all those things, it is not harassment. My request to you is, with whatever constraint that we defined, if you feel there was harassment that happened, do not ignore it. Do not pretend it didn't happen. Inform the harasser that the behavior is unwelcome. If you do not say that, I don't understand it. If I have caused you an impact, if you don't tell me, I don't understand it. Tell the ICC exactly what happened as soon as possible. Do not accept the behavior. Do not tolerate the harassment, even if it seems the others around you are tolerating it. You don't need to necessarily tolerate it. And the incident need not happen to you at all. It can be to your friend. But you were there. You were getting impacted. You were given the feeling that the situation that there is not okay to you. We are not creating a situation where you are made feel terrible about it. Maybe your friend is very sportive. It's like, okay, it's chorda, yeah, I'll just move on. No, if you feel unwelcome, if you feel it is affecting you, please bring it to the ICC. Be supportive, please, guys. Do not, if somebody goes through a problem, the first thing we tell them is, oh, she has too many problems, man. Let's not even talk to her. She only brings problem. If somebody goes through such things, please be supportive of them. If someone wishes to talk to you about their personal experience, listen with empathy and then direct them to ICC. It is not okay. Let us give them a lending hand. Never tell somebody, you have too many problems, I have my own problem, I just don't want to. If you know something, and if your listening ears could be of some help, we can prevent suicides. We can prevent another flower, another fellow student to be part of this nation's building block. This is what I said, if you see someone else getting harassed, you may also file complaint, okay? Now, suppose you did go and file the complaint. If there is a protection against retaliation, that let us say the person I complained against is in the ICC committee, what do? You may ask the presiding officer for the other person who is part of the ICC committee to step down so that the proceedings could go well. So you have to make it very clear. Or let's say if you know the person in the ICC committee supports the person who did the act. Act is not physical. Again, I'm telling you, it is any form, as we discussed previously. If the other person supports the person who did the act, you can tell the ICC president that you do not feel comfortable going with the case because of the close relationship between the person who did the act and the ICC committee person. Okay. So if for any reason somebody comes and threatens you, filed a complaint against me in ICC, look what I'm going to do. That is a big no. It's a serious violation of the POSH policy. Any form of retaliation against a victim or their supporters is forbidden, period. The police can involve, the courts can involve, everybody can involve. Whether it is intimidation, pressure to withdraw the case, threats should be reported to the committee immediately. Retaliation will be treated as a major misconduct and the committee will take against action to prevent or rectify the retaliation. Any person found to have retaliated against an individual for reporting harassment will be subject to disciplinary procedures. Very clear. Okay? By the way, I've been talking. Any questions or any concerns in this area? If not, we'll go. So let us be very clear. What does the POSH Act benefit us with? It is only trying to create a workplace safety. Let's go from here. It is trying to create a workplace safety, clear boundaries for interaction, what is acceptable and what is not acceptable. And it is also encourages us where teamwork, where colleagues dialogue better in a gender neutral way. Okay, my gender should not come in picture when we are doing the teamwork. And it also gives us a spiritual sector that I am more than my gender. Look at my brain. Look what I can offer. Don't look at how I look, what extra body parts I have. Okay? Outgrow gender stereotypes. You know, this is very normal. You would find the girls don't know how to drive the car. The boys cannot read maps. All those things. Let us leave all those behind. And it is also giving us legal way, focused, fast-track channel for addressing sexual harassment issues. Okay? This is all it is trying to do. It is not trying to put us in silo forms. Oh, if I interact with people, all these things will happen. Let me just be myself. No, we are trying to create boundaries. We are trying to foster teamwork. We are trying to make sure if anything happens, you are protected. With that said, I will again go back to the initial slide. Okay, please let us relearn our behavior. I may not know what makes you uncomfortable, tell me. As in, whoever is doing the act, tell them your act is not welcome. Let us learn about what is unwelcome and welcome acts and make sure what is sexual harassment means. Physical contact and advances, a demand or request for sexual favors, making sexually colored remarks, showing unwanted photographs, any other unwelcome physical, verbal, non-verbal contact of sexual nature. Okay? Let us create a very good environment where all of us can work together and make India as beautiful as she is. Any questions?
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, ma'am.
Hi.
Ma'am, I have one question.
Mm.
Ma'am, in an organization, what are the precautions we can take to bring safe environment?
So, ma'am, normally in an organization, the first thing that we do is to educate all its employees about sexual harassment. As I just described, this is an awareness session. So, such things should happen in an organization. Everybody should know what is POSH Act is, what is what is meant by Vishaka guidelines, what things are welcome, what things are not welcome. All those education, first education, awareness. After which we will have to, there is a mandatory requirement that posters have to be placed where if any act happens, who to contact, which email ID, which number they have to call, and what is the procedure, the flow chart that I showed you, that must be pasted everywhere. And third thing is, if anything happens, any unwanted, whether it is in the cafeteria, whether it is in your bathroom, doesn't matter. As long as it involves employees of that organization, then it is deemed that it has to go to the ICC committee. So awareness is very important now. When I was studying, both in my master's and undergrad, such concepts were not even told us. We were, if something happens, we just, okay, let's not talk about it. There was nobody, because I will be shamed. I will be given a terrible time. I will be looked down by other people. Was the sense that I had, right? So we are trying to create, if something happens to you, it is okay to talk to your ICC member. The only reason that the committee is there is because there is a problem where your mental state is not okay at the moment because of whatever incident that happened. So please make sure awareness happens. Posters are everywhere. What is acceptable, what is not acceptable, clear guidelines are given to the students, even in the virtual. For example, let us say we are meeting in Google Meet. The teacher has not joined, the professor has not joined. It does not give me an avenue where I can talk anything and everything. Whether it is colored remarks about my professor, it is her appearance. I don't have the right to talk about my lectures, physical or any kind of remarks to other students in the class. I cannot take photos of my lecture and spread it like viral because she said something bad to me that I didn't study well. So I am going to take action against her by morphing her picture and doing all kind of things. That does not give me right. So these are all for students, but for organization, let's say your coworker should know that this acts are not welcome. Talking behind your back, making colored remarks, or anything that would put you down. So awareness, education, and would be the first thing to start with.
Thank you, ma'am.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, I have a question, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, in case if somebody faces any sort of sexual harassment in their workplace or their college area, and they come and talk to me, what is the right way to respond to a person so that I don't offend? What is the right way to respond to a person who confesses about any sort of harassment to me, ma'am?
First thing we all have to learn is to be. Um, I think my voice is echoing, so if somebody could mute. One thing we all have to learn ourselves is to be non-judgmental. Okay, let us say I come to you, Janvi, and say, this. Let's just take some name. Suresh made all these comments about me, etc. And then you have to first become okay. There is a trust she has in me. I have to become non-judgmental at this point. For example, we may have, oh, Niranjana, she always dresses up like this. She's always very flamboyant about her act. She's always party going. All those things should not come in picture at all. Okay, so you have to first become non-judgmental when you are dealing with me. Second thing, because of the trust that I have with you, you have to educate me. Let's say I am the person who comes and talks to you. You have to come and educate me, saying that this is not a welcome act. And here are the procedures that you can do. Is it a repeated behavior? She says yes. And you say this has happened to others? Yes. Do we establish any proof for this, or do you not have any proof? Okay, if even with no proof, let us say there are call records erased, WhatsApp chats erased, whatever it is, the very moment that you felt, I mean, I felt uncomfortable, I come to you, Janvi, and say this act has happened, even with no proof, I can go to ICC committee, because it relies on the person who did the act to prove or disprove. Okay, I have the authority to go tell the ICC that such thing happened, but I don't have any proof. The person who did the act has to have the capacity to disprove it. And this happens all the time, Janvi. That in my another workplace, right, a person did not make any comment, but this female worker, whatever reason, she was so offended. She went to the ICC committee, and she said that the person really offended her in whatever way it is, and it went on a great length because the person did not do anything. Because of a tough tussle between them, this female employee took this act and went to the ICC committee and complained against him. So then after the inquiry, they realized the person is of no fault. So it is okay. There are things that like that happens. But Janvi, the important thing is to be non-judgmental, listen with compassion, all the things your friend says, and then direct them correctly, that there is an ICC committee and that you have to do this. And here is the procedure. You have to write a written complaint in email.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay, any other questions? Again, my only intent here is to create awareness amongst all of you and to assure you your university is one of the many universities who has taken this much pain to educate you, bring people like us to create awareness, and they really care about each and every one of you. Your safety is paramount to them, and that I hope all of you succeed in whatever way that you have laid out in front of you, and that university has created a safe workplace for all of you where your mind is free. And I want each one of you to have only great experiences and to create better India and for the future. That's all from my side. And I really thank my office, Netgear Corporation, to have been, Snehal, my HR, who was in contact with Dr. Manjula, for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. That was a really impacting presentation. And other than that, the points were really clear, and this discussion is a much needed discussion and the need for the hour right now, because the situation in India or in any part of the world. So I am really thankful to you. And before anything else, I would like to welcome our assistant professor, Ms. Halime, to thank all the other staff for attending today's session. Thank you so much, ma'am. And passing over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Ma. So we have come to the end of the session. So I would like to thank the Almighty for giving us this event, a successful one. And my heartfelt thanks to the management and principal, Dr. V.R. Manjunath, for their continued support in organizing such events. A special thanks to the speaker. We are given really a broad knowledge about the type of harassment and what we can do about it. And I thank all the departmental HODs who are attending, and thanks for their support. A special thanks to Dr. Manjula ma'am, professor and head, the convener of College Internal Compliance Committee, who is the backbone for this program. I also thank all the members of CICC committee and all the student coordinators who have made this program a success. Last not least, I thank all the participants who have been registered from other colleges and also from the host. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, Niranjana. In fact, it was a very
Thank
good
you,
session,
ma'am.
wonderful session, wherein you inspired us, all the students also, with what the things that they should know at the workplace. And elaboration on the College Internal Compliance Committee also, because most of the students were not aware of this thing. So you also highlighted on those aspects, and thank you very much. In spite of your busy schedule, you have made up your time to deliver this wonderful session to all of us. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, ma'am. It's a pleasure always to meet everyone, especially from the universities. It gives me great pleasure to learn about all these things. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Ma'am, feedback link shared in the group.
Yeah,
So all of you, please fill the feedback form.
Yeah, participants, please share the feedback form so that you can get the certificate when you